Remembrance Day. Oh, it's been a tough day for me. It is 3:30. My guests have come and gone. Remembrance Day ceremony went very well. I tried my best to keep my composure until the moment of silence. Yeah, that's when I lost it. I completely lost it. My knees went weak. And I started to sob. The ugly cry, you know that one? When the tremors come and the snot comes out of your nose like there's no tomorrow. And I couldn't barely stand, and I bent over in half, and I cried and I cried and I cried. Being a widow is never easy, and being a widow of a veteran on Remembrance Day, on a day that you're supposed to remember, is not easy either. Brock used to tell me all the time how much he hated Remembrance Day. And I said, it's for the civilians to remember what you did. And he always said how much he hated it because it was a day that he was forced to remember those days. The rough days and the hard days. And I never understood it. And since he's died, I really understand it because it's a day that I'm forced to remember. And it's rough. It really is. But also, I have to remember that that the rest of the world has to recognize that veterans aren't 90-year-old men that fought in the old wars. It's not these gray-haired men that we see. It's men, and young women. And it's all men and all women from all ages. So it's not just the old people that is in our minds when we think of veterans. We have veterans that are as young as 18, men and women. And those are the ones that we need to remember. Those are the ones that we wear our poppy for. But we also have to remember the families that are struggling. Because you may see that veteran standing there with his medals. But I think also is forgotten are the families that are left behind. And not always left behind in war, but left behind in just left behind. A lot of men and women are struggling from PTSD, from trauma. And those are the ones that we need to remember, and those are the ones that we have to put our arms out to. So today I had an open house that anyone who needed a hug, anyone who needed to not feel alone on today, knew that there was a safe place to go. And I saw some friendly faces and I gave some great hugs because not only did they need them, I needed them too. And I'm going to make a point to do this every Remembrance Day. Because I know it's a rough day for me, and I know it's a rough day for a lot of veterans out there. I wear my poppy proud on Remembrance Day. tell you a little story about this one. It's a worn and it's old. I have been wearing this particular poppy since Brock's funeral. The ribbon on it says grieving, and I wore it for a year after he died. And I put it away. And on Remembrance Day, I'll pull it out. And I also pull it out on the day of his death, and I wear it again. And I put it back in my jewelry box. It's one of my prized possessions that I have. And I still put in money into the Poppy box because the Poppy Fund is very important. It helps a lot of people. So remember our men and women on Remembrance Day, but also remember the families. And I want to thank the hugs that I received today and the comfort that I received during my meltdown, my not so silent meltdown during the 2 minutes of silence. I tried to be quiet, but it's hard. I miss you, Brock. I miss you every day. And I wish you were here. And I do feel you here. And I know there's a lot of people out there today that really need your strength and support. Not just me. There's a lot of tears crying for you today. So we remember our soldiers. We remember our veterans. We remember our family, and we remember our friends. And we value our freedom, and we don't take it for granted. Remembrance Day.